Now to media reports of a wild car chase through New York involving royalty. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made headlines after a run-in with paparazzi left them allegedly shaking.
Harry and Meghan walked out of a charity event in Manhattan to a sea of cameras with security at their side. According to a spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess, a, quote, near catastrophic car chase ensued, adding highly aggressive paparazzi pursued the couple and Meghan's mother for over 2 hours, all over Manhattan, resulting in multiple near collisions with other drivers, pedestrians, and 2 NYPD officers.
Scary stuff. Or was it another overblown attempt for even more attention? New York's mayor had his doubts.
I would find it hard to believe that there was a 2-hour high-speed chase.
A statement from the NYPD went further, calling the incident challenging, but said there were no reported collisions, summonses, injuries, or arrests.
The car chase was either a complete fabrication or, at the very least, exaggerated. And the story did not end there. Piers Morgan managed to track down one of the cab drivers who ferried the royals around, and his version of events also differed.
It's been categorised that there was a 2-hour wild car chase through the streets of New York, but was the time
that must have happened before me.
So there was no like car chase when you were there.
Not when they got into my cab. We just went around the block, and two cars were tailing us behind us with a camera, and that was it.
And then you went back to where you'd actually picked them up.
Yes, we went back to the precinct, and then they exited, and they thanked me, and I thanked them as well, and then they exited my car.
Awkward stuff from a couple which wants the world to respect their privacy while running around and receiving awards at glitzy, high-profile events. The hypocrisy had us remembering this South Park segment, which perfectly summed up just how absurd these people really are. Caroline, let me go to you first, putting your royal report hat on, of course. What did you make of this story? Do you think they are credible claims, or do you think enough doubt has been cast on it for us to raise questions?
Well, look, like with anything, always happy for it to be investigated. But interestingly, the people surrounding the situation don't seem to be as enthused about this story, obviously, as the Sussexes themselves. The Sussexes are performers. They're absolutely performers. This is very interesting collaboration with the Fast and the Furious franchise, which apparently seems to have happened in New York City. But anyone who's been to New York knows there are so many cars and so many people at all times of the day. Like, it would almost be a miracle to be... And how do you have a 2-hour car chase around an island? Where is all the footage of everyone in the streets videoing this? You know what I mean? Like, in New York, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of CCTV, and there seems to be just not a lot of evidence other than the claim. So it'd be very interesting to see what this investigation digs up. But, you know, they've thrown all manner of muck at the family. The coronation is now over, and it's being able to find something to keep themselves in the news, because unless they're keeping themselves in the media, they have no commercial value.
Yeah, well said. And Nick, another thing that's come up from this is obviously the parallels between Harry's mother, Diana, and this story that may be concocted. A lot of people saying it's inappropriate for Prince Harry to make those parallels if it wasn't true.
Well, exactly. And I think that it's clear, isn't it, from the wording, a near catastrophic car chase, that they were playing to that memory, and they could not be accidental. We're using language like that. And I think that, you know, if I was approaching this as a journalist looking at that story, that's one of the first things that would start ringing the sceptical bell in my head. I mean, what is a near catastrophic car chase? Is it one where you just sort of clip somebody's wing mirror, for instance, or you sends the cat scattering off that way and the chicken the other way?
That didn't happen.
Well, maybe. And I think Caroline's point is dead right. The 2-hour car chase in New York, I mean, my recollection in New York is, you know, on a bad day, it might take you 30 or 40 minutes to get to the airport. You know, because it needn't just have been on the island. I think Caroline's being a bit unfair there. But, you know, a 2-hour car chase in New York would have to involve a fairly long traffic jam.
Yeah, and there are lots of cameras around there as well, and no one has put up footage of this supposed car chase.